The voices drift through the heavy wooden door, muffled by Portland's winter drizzle, but their meaning cuts through clear as glass. I stand on the front porch of my parents' cramped house, rainwater dripping from my jacket, listening to them plan the theft of my life over roasted chicken. Jessica pulls in six figures, my brother-in-law Derek says, his voice carrying that swagger of someone who's never earned a dime himself. She doesn't need an 1,800 square foot condo just sitting there empty. My hand freezes over the doorknob. I'm Jessica Chen, 37 years old, and I've spent the last 14 years building my career as a cybersecurity analyst. I work 80-hour weeks, I've earned every promotion, and I finally bought my dream condo in downtown Portland 3 years ago. But to my family, I'm not Jessica the accomplished professional. I'm just their personal bank account. And right now, standing outside this door, I'm listening to them plot to take the one thing that's truly mine. Through the narrow window beside the door, I watch them gathered around the dining table like thieves planning a heist. Jessica pulls in six figures, my brother-in-law Derek says, his voice carrying that swagger of someone who's never earned a dime himself. She doesn't need an 1,800 square foot condo just sitting there empty. My hand freezes over the doorknob. Through the narrow window beside the door, I watch them gathered around the dining table like thieves planning a heist. My younger sister, Amanda, dabs at her eyes with a tissue, performing the fragile victim role she's mastered since we were kids. My parents, Robert and Linda, nod along like this makes perfect sense. What if she refuses? My mother asks. She won't get the chance. That's my father, Robert, the man who taught me that family means I'm the ATM with unlimited withdrawals. Once you're inside receiving mail, you establish residency, squatter's rights. She'd have to file for eviction. In this city, that's 8 months minimum. My mother actually laughs, a sharp, delighted sound, and she leaves for that consulting project in Singapore in January. 4 full months. We'll have the baby's room painted and the locks changed before she boards the return flight. My own parents, plotting to steal my sanctuary, the downtown condo I restored panel by panel, the space that represents 14 years of 80-hour work weeks as a cybersecurity analyst. They're not asking to borrow it, they're planning a hostile takeover. I take a slow breath. No anger rises, just cold calculation. They've forgotten who I am. I don't react emotionally. I assess threats and neutralize them. I arrange my face into holiday warmth and push open the door. "Merry Christmas," I say, stepping into their trap. The silence crashes down like a falling anvil. 4 guilty faces whip toward me. For one beautiful second, I see pure panic. Then the masks slide back into place. "Jessica, honey," my mother Linda rushes forward, wiping flour from her hands. "We weren't expecting you until 7. The traffic must have been terrible." I let her hug me. It feels like embracing a mannequin. The house reeks of roasted chicken and wet carpet, suffocating compared to my condo where the air smells like sandalwood and rain. The walls are covered with photos of Amanda at graduation, Amanda's wedding, Amanda's baby announcement. I'm invisible here, just like I'm invisible to them as a person. "I caught an earlier train," I lie smoothly. "Couldn't wait to see everyone." My father, Robert, clears his throat, stepping away from the table where they'd been plotting my destruction. "Good to see you, Jessica. You look successful." "Cybersecurity pays well, Dad," I say evenly. I look past him to the sofa where my sister sits, nested in blankets, hand resting on her pregnant belly. She gazes up at me with those wide, wounded eyes she's perfected. Beside her, Derek leans back with a beer, smirking at me like I'm the problem. He's the entrepreneur who's burned through 4 startups and $35,000 of my money, yet somehow I'm the one who doesn't understand business. I walk deeper into the room, setting my wet coat on the rack. I'm running my internal threat assessment. Hostile environment, multiple bad actors, leverage minimal. I watch them scramble to hide papers that look like floor plans. My mother fusses over Amanda, bringing her a footstool, completely ignoring that I'm standing here soaked. The realization crystallizes with surgical precision. They don't see a person, they see a resource, an oil well to be drilled until it runs dry. For years, I've called their behavior demanding. I've rationalized it as the burden of being capable. But watching them now, I understand. They've conditioned me since childhood to believe my only value is what I provide. My success isn't mine to celebrate, it's theirs to extract. I'm not their daughter. I'm their pension plan, their emergency fund, their housing department. And you don't ask a resource for permission, you just take it. Sit down, Jessica, my mother says, pointing to the hard wooden chair at the room's edge, leaving the comfortable spots for family. We need to talk about your Singapore trip. I sit, cross my legs, let a pleasant smile touch my lips. Yes, I say, we certainly do. My father leans forward with practiced gravity. We've been thinking about the baby, about logistics. I know this pitch by heart. I've heard versions of it for a decade. Always the same song, different verse. As he drones about Amanda's high-risk pregnancy and stress-free environments, my mind opens the mental ledger I keep locked away. Exhibit A. Derek's disruptive tech startup 4 years ago. $13,000 for seed capital because family supports dreams. The company folded in 5 months. The money vanished into networking dinners and a leased BMW. Return on investment? Zero. Exhibit B. My father's pension shortfall. $7,500 to cover union dues and medical bills. I paid without requesting documentation. Later, I saw their cruise photos from Cancun. Sunk cost. Exhibit C. Amanda's credit card consolidation. $11,000 to save her credit score so she could buy a house. She didn't buy the house. She bought a designer dog and new furniture. I'm not a sister. I'm a subscription service they forgot to pay for. And since you'll be in Singapore for 4 months, my mother says, voice pitching into that hopeful, wheedling tone, your beautiful condo will just sit there empty, gathering dust. Ideally, Amanda adds, clutching a pillow like armor, we'd only need it until the baby arrives, just to get settled. The stairs here are murder on my back. I look at them, really look. They're not asking. This is a demand wrapped in manipulation. They're betting I'm too conditioned to refuse. In the past, I would have argued, would have explained my home office contains encrypted servers that can't be moved, would have mentioned liability insurance, would have fought until they wore me down and I wrote a check for a hotel just to escape. But I'm not playing defense anymore. I take a slow sip of water from a chipped mug, let the silence stretch until Derek fidgets and my father cracks his knuckles. You know, I say softly, thoughtfully, that's actually a good point. The shock is electric. Amanda stops sniffling. My mother freezes mid-motion. I haven't thought about those stairs, I lie with perfect ease. And the condo is peaceful. The natural light would be perfect for a nursery. Exactly, Linda claps her hands. Oh, Jessica, I knew you'd understand. Family takes care of family. I can leave the keys under the mat on the 29th. I fly out early the next morning. You can move in whenever you want. We'll take excellent care of it, Derek says, already mentally measuring my walls for his gaming setup. I know you will, I say. I reach into my bag and pull out the bottle of aged Bordeaux I'd brought, a $280 bottle meant as a peace offering, now repurposed as a sedative. Open this, Dad. He takes it, examining the label with fake appreciation. Exceptional, Jessica, you shouldn't. I wanted to. As he pours and they raise glasses to toast my generosity, to toast their victory over the resource, I feel profound detachment. They're celebrating their new home. I'm preparing the demolition. They think they've secured a luxury asset. They don't realize they just signed a contract with consequences they can't afford. I leave an hour later, claiming exhaustion. The moment that heavy door clicks shut, the suffocating atmosphere is replaced with crisp winter air. I don't get in my car immediately. I stand on the sidewalk, letting rain wash away their fake gratitude. When I reach my condo, I don't turn on lights. I walk straight to my server rack and pull up the security feeds. I need confirmation, one final piece of evidence to silence that tiny voice of the dutiful daughter still whispering in my mind. I scroll back 36 hours. December 23rd, 3:47. The feed shows my front door opening. My father walks in first, looking around like a burglar, moving with ownership's arrogance. He holds a key, a spare I never gave him. He must have copied it from my keychain during Thanksgiving while I washed dishes. Behind him waddles Derek with a tape measure. Bigger than I thought, Derek's voice comes through, tinny but clear. He walks into my living room, scuffing boots on my restored hardwood. We could fit an 80-inch screen on that wall easy. "Focus, Derek," my father says, heading straight to my office. He pushes the door open, staring at my workspace, my triple monitors, my ergonomic setup, the framed certifications on exposed brick. He doesn't see a career. He sees square footage. "This is it," Robert says. "The nursery. Perfect size." "The brick is ugly, though," Derek comments, tapping my wall. "Too industrial. Amanda wants something softer. Maybe we drywall over it, or just paint it white." Paint over the original 1890s brick. The brick I spent 4 weeks restoring by hand with specialty cleaners. The brick representing this building's history and integrity. Paint it. "Good idea," Robert agrees casually. "Jessica won't notice. She's never here anyway. By the time she gets back from Singapore, she'll adjust. She always adjusts." She always adjusts. That's it, the epitaph for our relationship. They weren't just planning to use my space. They were planning to erase me from it, banking on my infinite capacity to absorb disrespect. I close the laptop. The screen fades to black. The violation is absolute, not just trespassing, a fundamental rejection of my humanity. I pick up my phone and dial Marcus. It's almost 11 p.m., but real estate investors don't sleep, especially ones hunting opportunities. "Jessica?" His voice is smooth, surprised. "Late for a security assessment?" "I have a proposition, Marcus. You still interested in the Pearl District condo?" Heavy pause. "You're selling? I thought that place was your soul." "It was," I say, voice steady. "Now it's a liability. I need to liquidate. $340,000 cash." "That's $55,000 under market. What's the catch?" "Two conditions," I say. "First, we close in 36 hours. Second, I need immediate gut renovation. I want the demolition crew there at 9 a.m. on December 29th. I want walls down, floors ripped up, plumbing exposed. I want it uninhabitable by noon." "You want me to destroy a historic restoration?" "I want you to renovate," I correct. "I know you've always hated the layout. Make it open concept. Make it yours. Just start demo on the 29th. "Someone hurt you," Marcus says, not asking. "Someone underestimated me," I reply. "Do we have a deal?" "Send the contract. I'll wire the deposit tonight." I hang up. Look around the shadowed condo, tracing the brick I loved, the floors I polished. It's just a building now, a shell. The sanctuary died the moment they walked in uninvited. Now, it's just collateral damage. The next 36 hours are surgical. I don't pack like someone moving. I pack like someone sanitizing a crime scene. My encrypted servers, the art I collected from local galleries, the hand-woven rugs, everything valuable goes into climate-controlled storage under an LLC my father will never find. By noon on the 27th, the condo is hollow. My footsteps echo on bare hardwood. But I'm not leaving them an empty apartment. Too suspicious. They expect a fully furnished luxury suite. I'll give them a theater set. I go to the outlet thrift store on the industrial edge of town. I buy a sofa reeking of wet dog and cigarettes with springs threatening to impale anyone who sits wrong. I find a dining table with one short leg guaranteed to spill drinks. I buy mattresses feeling like gravel bags and sheets with sandpaper texture. I staged the condo with precision, put a scratched coffee table right where Derek wants his massive screen, replaced my Italian espresso machine with a leaking drip maker. It looks inhabitable from afar, but touch anything and the illusion crumbles. A physical manifestation of our relationship, a facade of comfort masking absolute decay. Then comes the coup de grace, the Trojan horse. I go to the master bedroom closet, the room Amanda's already claimed, and stack 5 large boxes on the shelf. I wrap them in festive silver paper with elegant name tags: Dad, Mom, Amanda, Derek, Baby. They'll assume these are housewarming gifts, high thread count sheets maybe, baby gear. They'll tear into them with greedy entitlement. But these boxes contain no gifts. Robert's box holds 6 years of receipts for union dues I've been auto-paying since 2018. Attached is a payment cancellation notice, effective immediately. Linda's box contains statements for the department store credit card she thinks has unlimited credit. It doesn't. It has me paying the minimum monthly to avoid collections. I've included the number for the debt consolidation service I just fired on her behalf. Derek's box holds loan documents for his failed cryptocurrency venture. He thought the loan was forgiven. It wasn't. I bought the debt to keep him out of court. Now I'm transferring liability back to him. Amanda's box contains the cancellation notice for her health insurance premium, the platinum plan she insisted she needed for the baby, which I've been covering because her husband is between opportunities. I'm not just evicting them from my home, I'm evicting them from my payroll. For years, I've been the invisible dam holding back the flood of their financial incompetence. Today, I'm demolishing the dam. I place the final bow on the baby's box, filled with information about the trust fund I've established for my future nephew, accessible at 18, trustees appointed, parents with 0 access and 0 knowledge. I walk to the kitchen counter and write a note on my personalized stationery. Welcome home. Make yourselves comfortable. You've earned everything that's coming. I place the keys under the welcome mat, the only promise I kept. Then I walk out into the rain, get in my car, and drive to the airport. I don't look back. It's not my sanctuary anymore. It's a blast zone waiting for the timer to hit 0. December 29th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. I'm sitting in the first-class lounge at PDX, sipping a mimosa that costs more than Derek's monthly contribution to society. My laptop streams the finale in 4K. The feed shows my living room. They moved in last night, as predicted. The place looks like a frat house after a party. Pizza boxes stacked on my scratched table. Derek asleep on the dog-smelling sofa, drooling. Amanda waddles into frame, holding her back. This mattress is awful. It has lumps. Jessica must have kept the good stuff in storage. We'll buy new ones, Linda says, entering with coffee. Once we sell some of this junk. I can't believe she lived like this. No wonder she's single. I sip champagne slowly. Enjoy it, Mother. Last time you'll feel superior. At 9:02 a.m., the front door doesn't just open, it's unlocked by a key I gave Marcus's security chief. The door swings wide, revealing 4 men in dark suits and 7 construction workers in hard hats carrying sledgehammers and crowbars. My family freezes. Derek scrambles up, wiping drool. Who the hell are you? The lead man steps forward. I'm James Stone, head of security for Apex Development. You're trespassing on an active construction site. Trespassing? Robert laughs that condescending attorney laugh. My daughter owns this condo. We have permission. Jessica Chen sold this property on December 27th, Stone says, voice flat and unyielding. The new owner ordered immediate gut renovation. Demo starts now. He signals the crew. The first sledgehammer hits drywall like a gunshot. Crack. Dust plumes. Stop! Amanda screams, clutching her belly. I'm pregnant. You can't do this. You have 4 minutes to vacate, Stone says, checking his watch. After that, anything left becomes debris. I'm calling the police. Robert pulls out his phone, face turning purple. This is illegal eviction. You need 30 days' notice. There's no lease, Stone counters calmly. No tenancy agreement. You're squatters in a commercial development zone. Police are already en route to remove you. Another hammer crashes into the kitchen island. Smash! Watching on my screen, I feel clinical fascination. This isn't just satisfying, it's educational. I'm witnessing a psychological phenomenon in real time, narcissistic injury. They're not screaming because they're homeless. They're screaming because their reality is fracturing. They built their worldview on the premise that I exist to serve them, that my resources are their birthright. By selling the condo, I didn't just take away a roof, I took away their control. "Where is she?" Linda shrieked, grabbing Stone's lapel. "Where's my daughter? She wouldn't do this. She loves us." "She sold the property, ma'am," Stone says, removing her hand with professional disdain. "She's gone." "Look at this!" Derek yells, holding up a gold-wrapped box. He must have found them while looking for hiding places. "She left us gifts. She wants us here." He tears open the box labeled Derek, pulls out papers. I watch his face change. Confusion, realization, pure horror. It's a bill. The loan. She stopped paying the loan. Robert tears open his box. Linda grabs hers. The sound of ripping paper mixed with rhythmic thud, thud, thud of the crew demolishing the north wall. "She canceled the credit card," Linda gasps, staring at the statement. "The minimum payment is $3,800. "My insurance," Amanda wails, holding up her notice. "I don't have a doctor anymore." Chaos, a symphony of consequences crashing down on people who've never felt accountability in their lives. The walls literally coming down around them, exposing the rot of their entitlement. "Out!" Stone barks. "Now!" I watch them scramble. They don't grab clothes, they grab boxes of bills, as if holding paper will make money reappear. They run into the hallway, a pathetic parade of failures, chased by dust from my former life. As the camera feed cuts to black, power finally severed by the crew, my tension leaves my shoulders. It's done. The parasite realized the host is dead, and the host is already boarding a flight to Singapore. 7 months later, Kyoto. Rain here falls differently than in Portland. Gentler, rhythmic. A sound that cleanses rather than suffocates. I sit on the engawa of my rented makiya, a traditional wooden townhouse smelling of tatami mats and aged cedar. My laptop is closed, phone on silent. A courier delivered the letter an hour ago, handwritten in frantic scrawl I recognize instantly. Amanda. I didn't open it immediately. I finished tea first, watched a koi navigate the stone pond. Only then, with detached curiosity, did I slide a letter opener under the flap. "Jessica, Mom says we're not supposed to write. Dad says you're dead to us. Derek says you're a sociopath. But I need you to know what you did. We were evicted from Derek's mother's basement 4 months ago. She found out about the debt, the loans you stopped paying. She checked her credit and found out Derek used her name too. She threw us out. We're staying in a highway motel. The baby sleeps on the floor. I tried using the health insurance for a checkup, and they laughed. Canceled. Everything's canceled. Mom had to go back to work, retail, 8 hours on her feet daily. She cries every night. Dad's pension is being garnished to pay back taxes you used to cover. Everyone knows, Jessica. The church, the neighbors. Someone posted the eviction video. We can't show our faces anywhere. I'm not asking for money. I know you won't give. I just wanted you to know you won. You destroyed us. Are you happy now?" I read it twice. In the past, these words would have been daggers, triggering landslides of guilt. I would have been on the phone arranging a safe house, wiring cash to fix messes I didn't make. But today, I feel nothing. Not hatred. Hatred takes energy. Hatred is an active connection. This is something far more permanent. The quiet quit of the soul. I realized then that I haven't just sold a condo, I've retired. I laid off the role of being their daughter. I submitted my resignation from being their savior. The position is vacant, and I'm not accepting applications for rehire. I fold the letter carefully. I don't burn it, too dramatic. I simply place it in the recycling bin next to yesterday's newspapers. There's one loose end, though, the innocent. I open my laptop and send a secure message to my lawyer in Portland. Status of the trust? Reply comes instantly. Executed, irrevocable, education and living expenses for the nephew, accessible at 18, trustees appointed, parents with 0 access and 0 knowledge. I close the laptop. My nephew will have a future. The start I never got. But his parents, my parents, they made their choices. They bet their survival on my compliance. And the market crashed. I look out at the garden. My new sanctuary isn't made of brick and glass, isn't a location I can be evicted from. It's this silence, the peace of knowing my resources are finally, irrevocably my own. They tried to take my sanctuary, so I gave them the only thing they truly earned: consequences.